Looks like we are live. Welcome to Out of the Draft Podcast, episode 9 of season 3. We're excited to be here. Got a long stuff to talk about. A bunch of crazy news, especially with NASCAR and just everything around NASCAR right now is being crazy. So, everyone, I'm Dylan, and then you have
David.
Mitchell. I'm glad to be here.
That boy.
Stat Boy. Well, first off, how's everybody's week? We haven't seen each other in a week. JK, we were just racing, but that's beside the point.
I've been pretty good. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Really, busy podcast today.
Yeah, been good as well. Ready to hop into this.
A lot of news.
Mitch, you just came off a win in our league. Are you excited? Are you happy?
Yeah, very happy about that. You know, had the homies behind me pushing, and it worked out. Everything worked out. So, we've had a good week.
Well, I guess we can start off talking about what last week what happened. Obviously, we heard the news. Heading into the weekend, the news was all about Hendrick getting their 100 points back, the 100 points back and the playoff points.
Yeah.
Of course, they still kept the fine and the race suspension for the crew chiefs. So, with that being said, we had the Truck Series at Texas Motor Speedway. We had Xfinity with Cup at Richmond. Did y'all want to talk about the truck race just a little bit? Talk about the winner and the so on and so forth.
Yeah. Truck Series. We started out. It was pretty freaking boring the whole time. Nick Sanchez just absolutely lights out. Oh, excuse me. Completely dominated the race all the way up until probably the last, I'd say, the 30, 40 laps. And then that's kind of when we saw a few of the other guys come into the front.
Yeah, I saw the final 30 laps. Sanchez, he won everything. He won the pole, won stage 1, won stage 2, and he definitely looked like the fastest truck for the most part. Like I said, I saw the last 30 laps, and that's when Zane Smith started to turn on and started to come on and look like he's a little bit better than him, but the last 30 laps was a shit show. I think the whole race, for the most part, is probably a shit show or just not very good. But, there was caution. There's a big caution for Dean Thompson got on the wall, and then a lot of people behind him. I mean, the front stretch was covered in medical vehicles and all that. I guess it was like that because Dean Thompson was actually hurt in the truck. Because I heard that he went to the hospital after the race. I don't remember why he did, but I saw him tweet something out that he said that he was okay and he was going to drink a beer when he got home. So
yeah, I think it was really just kind of precaution because it was such a violent-looking wreck, especially with the way he was just kind of sitting there and pretty much got mowed over there by a couple trucks. It looked, I guess, a lot worse than what it was maybe for him, and they just took the precaution, I guess, and went ahead and took him like that. But I guess he's okay. I mean, he's on the entry list as well so far still for Bristol coming up. So,
can you guys hold it? Can you guys see me? Okay, sorry, my computer just totally bugged out for a second.
You froze just a tad, but it wasn't too bad.
My screen just went black.
Oh my god.
oh,
I was like, what the fuck? It's all good now. So, where were we?
Did we talk about Nick Sanchez yet? Like
him dominating? I think that's the only part we're talking about.
Yeah, that I just want to give a credit to him. That was impressive.
yeah.
I mean, I know he was good in ARCA, but in ARCA, even Derek Krause was good. Look where he went. I mean, it just kind of stalled when he went to the Truck Series. That to dominate like that at a track that I mean, you're driving a really good truck, so that's part of it. But at some point, that is driver skill with Seth. And so I just thought that was impressive, and I can't wait to see more stuff from him because I think he's good. I kind of like the guy.
No, I agree. I like the guy as well, even after crashing out there at the end, racing for the win there with Zane Smith. His interview was very positive. I mean, it was kind of he looked at it as it was really just kind of a racing deal, which it was with the wreck itself. But I agree. It didn't seem like he was hanging his head low because and even the I don't remember the person who interviewed him, but they even said that what second, third race or whatever it is in the season, and you're already dominating like this. Like that's huge for your career. That's a huge feat for someone that young and coming in with such little experience in the trucks. That is.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. That is it was impressive to watch that. With that being said, yeah, he and Zane Smith wrecked out and gave us our winner.
Last restart. I think it was overtime.
It was a great.
It got busy.
Yeah.
It got busy, and they're coming to the white. Zane Smith was beside Nick Sanchez. Come to the white. Hocevar was right behind Smith. I think they made Smith and Sanchez made contact in tri-oval, and that got him loose. And then Hocevar already had a run, and he was trying to make it 3 wide, and he kind of went across. Zane Smith kind of went across Hocevar's nose because Hocevar was he wasn't trying to push him; he was trying to pass him on the bottom.
He was just there.
Slid across his nose and spun Zane Smith out into Nick Sanchez. The yellow came out right away. There was somebody behind Sanchez. I don't remember who it was. But
whoever finished second.
Eckes.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, whoever finished second, that was who was. I believe he got into Sanchez on the bottom into Smith, actually, because Sanchez.
Sanchez was the one that got loose and came across down, and then
and it looked like Sanchez was gonna wreck even without the.
Yeah. Either way, I think Sanchez was wrecking.
Just because of that air when they barely touched side by side in the second kink of the tri-oval, it was just over. He got
it was going left.
Yeah, I don't know if he could have saved it. I just think he loses the race right there though.
For sure. I agree.
But Carson Hocevar. This is a long time coming. You're close so many times. That's cool. I like him a lot. I know he probably won't be the best driver out there ever, but he's just a funny, very personable guy.
He's got a big personality. I think he could be good for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a good driver. Can't discredit that at all.
Yeah.
I think he'll probably stay with the Colleague pipeline if I'm being honest, just because Colleague and actually no Trackhouse and what team is he on? What's it called?
Nice,
yeah. Trackhouse Nice, kind of intertwined with each other with Ross with that pairing. So I think he'll probably. We could see a third Trackhouse car in a couple years after the whole new, charter systems and everything going to release with a new TV deal. That's about the right timing for him, I think. Maybe a little bit too soon, but with...
At the same time, though, I could also see him go the Colleague route as well.
There's just so many opportunities. Well, there's not many opportunities for... big teams, but there is for teams to get better.
Right.
And I think, you gotta look. Chandler Smith is one of them, right? I think you put him in a Colleague Cup car, 3 years, I think he's a multi-time winner.
Oh, I agree. I was just thinking about it the other day with him. Obviously,
yeah.
We'll
I guess
there.
we're kind of skipping the gun here, but Chandler Smith also won the Richmond race. But I just before we talk about that, I want to talk about some top finishers. I know, Damon, this is your thing for.
I love this. Yeah,
the truck.
This is my shit.
So go ahead, just name some people off.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I was about to tell you guys to wait on Xfinity.
That's why
I appreciate it. All right, obviously Carson Hocevar got the win. That's awesome for him. Chase Purdy came home second. Jake Garcia, I don't know a lot about him, but he came home with a top 5 day. It's impressive.
That's good. 35.
Yep.
Ooh, that's pretty. pretty impressive.
Is that Josh Ream Racing? Is that what that is?
I think so.
Josh Rayun.
Rayum, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Deegan Haley Deegan finished 6th, which is very good.
That
The,
ties
the,
her best finish
Yeah.
as well.
Man,
the,
I can see a top 5 coming, really. She was
I thought
running pretty
it was.
decent. It wasn't like she just lucked out because of a couple green right checkers. She was actually running decent from what I saw. I mean, at the beginning of the race it was sucky, but I think she just needed the track position.
She was around 12th for I think the most part, but
Yeah, I agree. Which we also saw it was a very track position heavy race.
Ryan Vargas finished 8th. I had him as my suck pick, so I mean I look like a fool now. Jack Wood, okay, he's actually good. Mason Massey in the 33 truck got 11th. That's very impressive. Chris Wright in the 02, 23rd, and that's about it. I don't know who really struggled. They usually have those, but not today. Trucks.
All right. Well, since I jumped the gun, by the way, congrats to all those drivers to finishing better than we expect.
Anticipate. Also, we should throw what's his name, Dean Thompson. He had a really good day as well. Up until I think that final, the first wreck in stage 3, he ran top 5. I think like the first 80 laps of the race. They said something like that. And then was still running top 10. So he had a really good day as well. He just ended up getting caught up in that big wreck at the end.
Yeah, a lot of surprise teams. I feel like even before like a lot of trucks were getting wrecked, were up there. Not a lot of trucks that you expect to be up there were up there, which is very good to see.
Yeah, for sure. But we had a honestly a crazy Richmond race for Xfinity. I thought it was really good from what I saw. I didn't see stage 2. I had to go do something, then I came back and I watched the end of the race. But Chandler, of course, won the first stage. Riley Herbst was up there. That was my pick to win. So I felt really confident because he was running he was running really good.
Inner Child just came out.
Yeah, I know. But before this, this is kind of changed the whole complexion of the race. The 18 and the 20 stayed out on like a 30-lap run to go for the end of the stage 1. All the other drivers pitted. They dropped like a rock. And then they actually both got a lap down, but before the end of the stage. But John Hunter Nemechek got the free pass. And then stage 2, I don't know what happened. Do y'all know?
I did not watch the race at all.
Yeah, I missed every lap.
All right, Josh Berry wins. Brandon Jones up there again. Riley Herbst up there. Chandler Smith. And then the end of the race was very good. There's a lot of beating and banging. Riley Herbst and Brandon Jones got into it with each other. Brandon just kind of overcooked the corner, turn 1.
That shitter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, literally. And destroyed the 98, which the 98 had a really good season going up until this point. I mean, he was top 10 every race.
Yeah.
And then
how was the 00?
He was 10th all race, really. He finished 5th though. But he was like
not too bad.
He was about the back end of the top 10. The 98 was top 3 most of the race. So it was just kind of I'm like, why are you like? What are you not doing? You know. But this is one of Riley's better tracks that he has. So, but yeah, not really much to say other than congrats to Chandler Smith. He should have won Vegas. He kind of choked that one away.
Yeah.
But starting off your Xfinity career, I mean, dominating. I mean, leading laps. Like not really dominating, but like you're leading a ton of laps. Actually,
it's impressive, just like we, said about Nick Sanchez,
I mean, dude's led 6 races out of his 7 starts. That's crazy.
That's impressive.
I think the one he didn't lead was Daytona, just because he wasn't up front.
He is by far the most talented racer that Kaulig has seen.
I agree.
Probably get 3 road course wins.
Yeah, he'll definitely get 3.
With AJ's,
Actually, 4.
guidance, maybe.
No, I mean,
I think he's more talented than AJ, honestly. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
four's reasonable. All
I
right, this is
do.
my time to shine.
Yeah, I do want to
Sorry.
get into one finisher that I want to shine light on. I don't know if he's gonna say it, but
We'll see. Okay. Obviously Chandler Smith. Congratulations to him on the win. Some other notable finishers. Kaz Grala, 4th place. Very impressive for Kaz. Ryan Sieg, 7th. Very good for his small team. That team's been at least a thing since like 2015, and see how far they've grown with from no sponsors to. Sorry if you guys heard that big truck just went by, but from no sponsors to where he is now is very impressive. Happy for Sieg. It's like a family grown team, small grown team with not a lot of money, building up to where they are, running top 12s consistently is amazing to see. Parker Kligerman with an 8th place finish. Derek Kraus, who I was very excited about to see his debut in Xfinity, got with top 10, finished 10th. Alex LeBay, 11th. Jeb Burton, 12th. Chris Hacker, 14th.
okay.
A lot.
Chris Hacker, who is that?
Okay, so this is the guy that I want to talk about because I DM'd him last year on the to get him on the podcast, and he said yes. But now since he made his Xfinity debut, which is Richmond, by the way, he finished 14th. I text him again. I really would love to get him on here. He hasn't responded. I don't think I haven't looked, but he's a guy who literally came from nothing. From what I've heard, I really want to get his story, and so hopefully he says yes. Hopefully we can get him on here, especially just to interview a driver, someone who, I mean, on Twitter he has a lot of fans because like he's very active because he's just a small driver,
Right.
But he follows me, so if that tells you anything,
Yeah, that would be amazing.
yeah. I mean, the finish 14th in your first Xfinity start, I think, ever. I mean, yeah. Dude's not even on the NASCAR website right now. Like his stats aren't even on there. That just goes to show like he's a nobody. Like not saying like that, but like that's he's just unknown.
Right.
But like he's very active with all the sponsors that he gets, especially on Twitter. Like Morgan & Morgan was his sponsor this week. And like he just done a lot of stuff with them over Twitter. I just thought that was cool to see. Just a young kid trying to get it done.
Right.
But I did. That's why I really wanted to say this person right here. So hopefully, I did send him the link to the podcast. So hey, he could be watching. We don't know, but
it's awesome to see small teams and a person like that takes his time out, and as you said, he acknowledged the podcast last year that he'd like to join. It's always great to see those guys do good.
yeah.
So I hope he joins. I love to pick his brain about
Ryan
these things.
Sieg's second car, right? So
Right.
I just heard myself. That was weird, but
I heard that too.
I didn't.
But yeah, so that's really cool to see Ryan Sieg finish 7th and his other car finished 14th. I mean, that just shows the improvement that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
That's awesome to see. I'm happy for him, and hopefully he'll join one day. But let's move on. Ryan Ellis, 15th, very very impressive for Ryan. Parker Retzlaff, 16th. Jeffrey Earnhardt, 18th, and Kyle Sieg finished 20th. Usually he drives. Do they have 3 cars?
They have 3 cars now. It looks like, yeah.
That's awesome because they used to have one car that was a start in park back in 2015, and now like Ryan Sieg is finishing top 10s and running around 8th. I feel like most of the time. I want to see where he's actually at in standings right now. He's 13th in standings.
I was gonna say probably around 13, 14.
Yeah, he does only have 2 top 10s. I promise you, he's always running around 6th to 8th place.
Oh yeah, he's always right.
A lot of accidents this week or this year. Not under his. It's just been a lot of accidents in the front of the Xfinity series this year, which is odd. We don't really see that often, but
yeah.
And then Parker, I want to give a shout out to him. because one of our buddies that we raced with in the league, he's a tire engineer for him. So it's really cool to see them do good. But yeah, that's what I got for Xfinity. If y'all want to move on to Cup,
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I need a refresher on what happened. I honestly do not remember what happened in the Cup race.
well, so they did not have practice qualifying because of a bunch of rain. So the pole was set, or the field was set by points. Alex Bowman had the pole because they got all their 100 points back, so he was able to get back the points lead.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there's a reason why I keep talking about it.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quick. I know, the 24 had a really fast car. He passed him. The 24 ended up winning the stage, but there was after about 8 laps after the competition caution, there was another caution, and so the reason why I'm noting this is because the 19 and a couple other guys pitted on this caution to get fresh tires. Yep. A lot of the other field did not. So when we get to the end of the race, it'll definitely be a big story on defining the winner, for sure. And then of course William won the first stage. Then they had then Denny Hamlin got a speeding penalty during this stage. He also.
I think it was tire a loose wheel. I think it's stage 3 is when he was speeding.
Oh, I thought he got 2.
So he did have 2. No, the first one wasn't. It was like a safety violation, possibly. Something. I know it wasn't speeding. The second one was speeding. By barely, like 0.5, but, NASCAR, so.
You might be right, and I do agree that they did elaborate that it was the tire thing. But late in the race, they did say that he did have 2 speeding penalties.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was.
Okay. So maybe they misspoke it, but maybe he also did. I don't know.
Maybe I could be wrong.
No. I mean, either way, he was in the bag, right? Like that's.
Yeah.
He at least had 2 penalties, maybe 3.
Don't put it past him.
Classic Hamlin. So
yeah.
Then he got. In the back, he was getting squeezed by J.J. Yeley on the front stretch with another car. I don't know who was on the outside. I really have no idea.
Some back marker.
Yeah, some back marker.
Wait.
Wasn't back marker.
He was back there already with the penalty?
Yeah, stage 1, right?
Because I thought...
After safety, I
did it... No. What level is the competition caution?
25, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know. I didn't see it. I just knew that he wrecked him on lap 33. So it doesn't make sense. But that's why I was shocked.
Competition caution.
Okay, if he wrecked him on lap 33, it had to be lap 25.
So that's the caution 25. That Truex pitted. Okay, so here's the competition caution. He wrecked him,
and then the caution, and then Truex and some others pitted. Right. Nobody else pitted.
Wow, Hamlin's
competition caution lap 31. Leaders all pit. Blah blah blah. Restart. JJ Yeley 6 laps after that. Yeah, 6 laps after.
Okay, that makes sense. That's why. Yeah, that's where the.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Hamlin, which is funny because on his podcast right before. This week he talked about drivers running into people like they should be called out for it. Well, I will say Monday he called himself out. Was like, I'm a jackass. He said it like he was like, I'm stupid. So I just thought that was funny. It's just the irony and that either way. But and then we get to stage 2, I guess. And he pretty much Hamlin came through the field and he won. Stage 2, so.
I want to go back to stage 1 real quick. When Truex pitted, he pitted. When did they get back to green? Probably around like lap 38. I think there's a 60. Was it 60 or 75 lap first stage? Well, it was somewhere around there. Whatever. It didn't even work for him. He was running like in the top 10 and didn't even end up getting stage points in stage 1 when he pitted. So it really didn't even work for him. It just put him back further.
Something really quick and odd to note real quick. Sorry. I want to backtrack to the Truck Series real quick. All right. So since the Truck Series was in Texas this week, and Cup and Xfinity were obviously in Richmond, there was limited pit crews, right? So because of that, they didn't really elaborate on the reason the strategy had changed. Because I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but the stage one, they had mentioned that it was the longest stage in Truck Series history for stage one, which it was like 78 laps. It was nearly half the race for stage one. So that part was odd. And they threw a competition caution at lap like 30 or whatnot. They all came down and did the non-live pit stops. So in my head, the reason they did that was so that they could throw out the strategy in the later stage 3 race that would have been. Because if they ran the normal stage 1 and stage 2 at the 35, 40 laps or whatever, that would have set them up for the stage 3 70 laps. And then they wouldn't been able to throw a competition caution in stage 3. You know what I mean? So then they would have been like, well, how do we do live pit stops? No pit crews. So I think that's why they switched the stages around like that and the lengths. I don't know, but they didn't elaborate on it. But I just thought that was weird the way that it went down.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had no idea this happened. Like I didn't.
Me neither.
Yeah, I watched. I didn't even watch the truck race, so I don't know.
Like, do you understand everything that I just said?
Yeah,
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But like, it just
Like, it's weird though, right?
That is.
It's yeah, because if they did the normal stage 1, stage 2, 30, 40 laps or whatever, the stage 3 would have been like the 80, and they wouldn't have been able to make it. But yeah, so I think they were like, well, we can't fucking pit because we don't have people to pit these cars. So it forced them to rotate the race around, but they didn't elaborate on it because I think it was honestly a little bit of a negative for NASCAR that they had to do that. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It didn't seem like no one was fucking there anyway, but I don't know. Anyway, back to Cup. I don't know. Something hit, so yeah, it's weird.
So wait. Sorry. Are you? What are you trying to like? I get what you're trying to like point out, but like, what made you like think of it? Like, say it. Like, why? What was your like point
They
behind
just
it?
had a moment.
I guess.
I remembered that happened. I forgot to mention that when we talked about the Truck Series earlier.
Okay. All right. I get it. All right. Let's move back on Cup. Stage 2.
Yeah.
Stage 3 now.
Stage 3. Okay.
Yeah, Hamlin won stage 2. So.
Yeah, Hamlin won stage 2. Of course, they all pitted. It was Hamlin and Truex, I think, restarting on the front, and they pulled away.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just them two, and the Hendrick cars are probably behind them.
Yeah, the 24 was right behind them. The 5 would fix his damage that he had on pit road.
That made him lose stage 2.
Yeah. And so he was behind the 24. He still wasn't as fast as the 24, but he was, he was there. Then they were going to split the stage in thirds or in twos. And then on the last pit stop that they had of the stage, going to the finish of stage 2, the first pit stop of this stage, of the final stage, Hamlin's crew, he was the leader. He went out a couple more laps than the rest of the field like he did last year to get the win. He comes in, his pit crew makes a 21-second pit stop because they could have had a loose wheel, but he caught it, and so they fixed it, which is a good thing, right?
Yep.
Like at the end of the race, like that's good because he could have had a suspension on his crew chief and so on and so forth or whatnot. But they kind of set up to where it was between the 24 and the 19. And the 24 passed the 19 over. He undercut the 19, which made him get in front of him. And then the 19 was coming, and then as soon as the 24 and the 19 was running side by side, we had Tyler Reddick spin himself underneath Harvick? Was it Harvick?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
And he just spun himself out. And then, and then while this is happening, the 9 of Josh Berry, the 34 of Michael McDowell, and I think the 38 of.
I don't think that happened yet. I think that was
No, he.
because this was still around like with 90 to go. I think when this caution came out,
Wait,
because Hamill was back around 11th or 12th, and then a caution came out, and
leaders
then
pit. I'll take 4. 5 takes the lead. 9 second. 19 third. 24 down to 4th after pitting from the lead.
Yeah, I'm right, I think.
Yeah.
I thought it was because I thought you talked about like the first time they were trying to cut it in like thirds, and then it was either they were going to cut it into twos or just do it on one stop.
I just highlighted Hamlin's pit stop from the first
Alright.
one.
Alright, you
Yeah,
can go.
I wasn't like. I just kind of kept forward.
Yeah, you can go.
And then, of course, they come in,
Very
they take more
helpful.
tires, but the 19 did not have any more fresh tires, so he had to put on scuffs.
And the team never told him.
The team never told him.
I think that's mind blowing because you would want the driver to know he's on scuffs, so he knows he needs to drive the car a little bit differently.
Because the reason his car was probably so loose is because he was driving it like he had fresh tires on. That's why his car was kicking out sideways.
I think I might
Right.
disagree. I think you tell the driver, okay? Now, hear me out, okay? You tell the driver you're on older tires, okay? So he drives, and he just doesn't drive as fast. Like, he doesn't try as hard, okay? So he loses more spots because he's just barely on the gas, barely doing this, barely. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
But if you put it the other way around, if you do tell him that he can drive
agree.
the car properly instead of
but
he's making the tires even more pain.
And on top of that, though, you can say, hey, you're going to be on 6-lap scuffs. Do you maybe need an adjustment as well to handle those 6-lap scuffs?
What happens later in the run, not when you have fresh tires, only 20 to go, and they're not going to do as much.
Right.
I mean, I get it either way. I totally understand.
I get it.
I get why he didn't tell his driver, but like Dale Jr. said on his podcast, he said, "I don't want to be told what tires I'm on." If he said if the crew chief would have told me, I would have cussed him out because that's not information I want to know.
I would cuss him out either way. I'd be like, "Why the fuck do we have no tires left?" Or "Why the fuck did you not tell me?"
Yeah, I mean that's just he was like, yeah, he was pretty vocal about like he doesn't like to hear the crew chief tell him things that doesn't matter. He said because, and he also put a good point. Well, if he tells me that I'm on older tires than the rest of the field, well, I'm going to get frustrated when they're passing me, okay? Instead of trying to play defense, I'm going to try to be offensively. But now, if you have no idea what's wrong with your tires and you're getting people passing you, you're still going to try to make sure they're not passing you. You know what I'm saying? So it was like we'll never know what his result could have been if he would have told him. But, I mean, it could have been the same result, really.
Yeah, you just don't know because you only had one car that. I mean, there's probably another car that had that problem, but just not as good as he was. So they didn't talk about it. So if there was like, who else did you say pitted there? Did Reddick pit with Truex that time in stage 1? Let's say Reddick did. And his car was actually good, and he was running inside the top 5. And the crew actually told him. I just wonder how.
Like, well, who would have finished better?
Yeah,
I think Truex finishes better still.
I think probably Reddick does because he understands what tires he's on, while Truex doesn't.
Well,
and Truex is going to get more frustrated.
I think Reddick chooses the outside lane, okay, on the restart, and he doesn't hold up the field because of it. Truex shows the bottom. Guess what? He holds up the field. And so that gave him enough laps to still be ahead of the competition a little bit to get their tires all pumped up with air. You know what I'm saying? Because fresh tires immediately at Richmond is not that great. It takes about 5 laps for it to start running well. Then after about another 5 laps, you're done. Your tires are over with. So it's like either way, you kind of put your driver. I mean, it's the team's fault for putting them in the situation to begin with, for making that strategy call of coming down and getting tires. If that was the case, I think you go and you do a one-stop stage, and not a two-stop. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just in case if there is a caution. But that
Yeah, if you took an extra set in stage 1, you probably got to do something different in stage 2 to
exactly
protect your tires.
to make sure that you're equal in stage
Yep.
3. But
Because then you fucked yourself. Because lately cautions have been ruining strategy races this year. They ruined Coda. Coda was going to be so entertaining at the end, and now they ruined Richmond because I was going to be interested to see if the 3-stop or 2-stop strategy worked.
yeah,
Cautions, man, and I think did they throw another like pointless debris caution
when
or maybe
No,
the
you had
Nascar?
Byron go into the wall.
No, I'm talking about like why the yellow came out with 90 to go or something like that, or whenever yellows came out. Maybe it was me because I've been watching a lot of like.
It was a car on the wall.
Caution. Yeah,
All right,
caution with
I
19 to go. Byron.
well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about much earlier than that. But
Much earlier.
it doesn't matter. It must be like because I've been watching a lot of like NASCAR rewinds that they have, so maybe that's what I saw. I don't know.
22.
well, anyway,
No, everything was everything in the wall.
So we come out of stops. William Byron, what in the world is going on? Hold on. Sorry, my. For some reason, I'm not
What?
seeing my chat, but it's saying there's people typing. Sorry.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay, that was weird. I don't know what the hell just happened, but
I'm talking about like I think Byron coming off pit road like first.
yeah. So he
Something like
came
that.
off fourth, coming in first. I made him pick the outside behind the 9 of Josh Berry, and then on the restart, literally the 20 was fifth, and then the 1 had a better restart cut underneath him, going into turn 1, making it 3 wide. The 20 got scared and just completely missed the corner
Yep.
into the 24.
Totally Chastain's fault.
Definitely the Wrecking Ball's fault.
Chastain's fault.
But and then William just got backed into the wall, and that was his day was over because he had no more tires. So.
His career is probably over too.
Oh my god. But
They keep getting these damn penalties. It will be.
yeah, and then Larson wins.
Absolutely didn't work.
Larson wins. Josh Berry, his best career finish, is second, and then we can go ahead and talk about your notable finishes.
Yes, sir. Alrighty. So there's a lot of them in this race. Obviously, you already said one. Josh Berry finished second. I do want to obviously congratulate Kyle Larson on their win first. He had a very good car. Michael McDowell was also on the same strategy that Josh Berry was on with caution coming out. He finished sixth. Ty Gibbs finished ninth. He was running around 10th place most of the day. Chase Briscoe with a nice 12th. It's good for him. Good for Stuart Haas. They got 5th, 12th, 13th, and 18th. Priest 18th, Amarola 13th. Todd Gilliland 15th. I think that's like his second 15th place finish 2 out of the last 3 weeks, I'm pretty sure. Chandler Smith in his debut finished 17th. He was not very quick for the most part, but he got a good finish. That's all that matters. Ryan Priest, I said before, finished 18th, and Harrison Burton finished 19th.
That, by the way, that was Ty Gibbs's third straight top 10 finish.
Yep.
That's pretty good. It's quiet, but it's good. Like, honestly, I thought he was gonna either, finish in the top 10 and cause a lot of havoc, but he's been top 10 finishing and just very quiet, which is nice.
Yeah, very. Do want to point out a very unfortunate ending for Ricky Stenhouse in the race. He was very quick until the competition caution came out, and then I think he had no brakes, so they had to go to the garage and fix it. And he was 45 laps down when he got back out. But his car is fast. He didn't go another lap down, so I still think he had around a top 10 car.
Someone just said, "The hell yeah, let's go, Daniel Larson." I'm pissed. Welcome, Nate.
Daniel Larson.
Welcome to the chat. Either way, but yeah, congrats to Larson. That's his first win this season. Could have had like 3 by now at this
8.
point, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Either way, let's get into some crazy news that happened this week.
Well, there's a lot of it.
There's a lot of it. What are we going to start off with first? Let's start. Okay, let's start off with All Star. Let's start off with the good stuff.
The light stuff. The light stuff.
Yeah. Let me pull up the format here. Sorry. Which is, I love it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. So
there's not a lot of BS in this.
I'm excited to hear it.
Not a lot of BS in this one. No, I have it pulled up if you want me to read it, Dylan, unless you want to.
You got it. You got it.
All right. I'm going to start with the Friday stuff and then work my way to the race.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the qualifying order for the heat races, because they're doing heat races, spoiler. But the qualifying for the heat races is based on pit stop time. They're bringing back the pit crew challenge, but in a bit of a different way. Qualifying will be based on pit stop time only. 4-tire pit stop, no fuel. Results determine starting lineups for All-Star heat races and All-Star Open. And then also on Saturday, after the truck races, the All-Star heat races. 60 laps each. Results of heat race 1 set All-Star race inside row. And then heat 2 is the outside row for the All-Star race. The All-Star Open is 100 laps. It's a competition break on or around lap 40. Top 2 finish. I don't think there's stages in this one, but there's top 2 finishers transfer to the All-Star race and the fan vote. There's obviously still a fan vote winner. The All-Star race field, which I think Mitch is going to like this part because I think he likes how it used to be like kind of like the Clash, but it's 2022 and this year's winners. Past All-Star race winners and Cup Series champions, the All-Star Open top 2 finishers, and the NASCAR fan vote winner. And here we are, the All-Star race format. 200 laps, all laps count. The started sticker tires, 3 additional sets, and in the pits, all laps count. So it means if it is yellow, it doesn't go under red. All laps count. Competition break on around lap 100. After the competition break, only 1 additional set of stickers may be used. I didn't see that part, but after the break, only, even if they have 2 or 3, you can only use 1. So it's gonna be interesting how they do in the.
It's gonna be interesting how they choose that strategy for that final 100.
When do you use them?
Do you take the speed early? Do you take speed late?
I say you pit with.
Interesting.
I say you pit with 65, like a lap 65 of that 100, and have a 35 lap sprint.
I agree. I would want to pit at like lap 60.
Give me a fun flag.
Take the tires at like 40 to go.
Give me a fun flag. But then you also have the thought of cautions coming out and.
I think you gotta. The final thing was like the winner receives $1 million. We all know that, but I think stage 2, the caution, you use them. You use the first 2. I think when do you put on that second pair?
You're gonna take 2.
I think you use them if you're in the back. I think if you're top 10, you're not coming until you have to, at least probably once before that 100.
But you can only use 1 after the 100 though. You have 3 sets and you can only use 1 after the 100 in total. Doesn't matter how many you have.
So then I think I'm pitting
in the stage 1. Or
there's no stage.
Stage 1.
I think I'm pitting like 65 laps in. Then I'm gonna pit in like 30 laps. So then that's like right before the 100. So that's my second set. And then I'm gonna roll that bitch until about like 40 to go.
I like that. That's a good one.
So basically a 60 lap, 45 lap, 60 lap ish.
Is that bad? That's how I would do it.
But so on the rules, it did say that any past All-Star winner, right?
Yeah.
And any past champion, right?
Yeah.
You know why that champion?
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. And I
we'll
think,
see.
and there's a lot of speculation right now that Dale Jr. is going to race too.
I could see it.
Yeah,
For who?
it doesn't say full
For
NASCAR.
himself.
A Hendrick car?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he'll race for himself. I think he'll just bring a car. It'll be.
Are they gonna let that? Because they won't have a charter.
It doesn't matter. There's no points. There's no reason to have a charter. It's not. It's only based on.
Would he have to race his way in though?
Yes. Yeah.
Or
That's what I was talking about,
would
the
he
charter.
just have? Or would he just have a straight provisional
I mean,
into the main
technically
event?
no, because if it says so, like people's already asking on Twitter about the past champions and stuff. Technically no, because he's in because of it's 2022 winners, past All-Star winners, and past NASCAR champions are locked in. And
So then it's taking a provisional.
All-star winner.
Kurt Busch, I want to see Kurt. If he's cleared, I want to see Kurt.
Honestly,
I don't think I'll be cleared.
I think,
Honestly.
dude, this field could be stacked.
Mark Martin, where you at?
We're gonna see 50 drivers in this damn field.
That'd be so much fun, dude.
Because it's North Wilkesboro, and this is the best
This
thing
is what
we've
they
had.
should do.
Richard Petty.
Split it up. Let's have a Saturday night race
Dale Earnhardt.
with a bunch of legends, and then have the current field Sunday.
That'd be fun.
Have grip on the track.
That'd be fun. And dude, this short track and road course package that they had out of 2 of the 3 races this year has been decent. Richmond was good. The Coda was good. Okay, now Phoenix, that was shit, right? But I think that's a track problem. I don't think it was the package problem. And if you put this package on, the track, I think we're gonna see a great race. At first, I was worried that we're going to a short track because our package was kind of but now since they went down to the 2-inch on the spoiler on width and height, I'm excited. That's great. But yeah, I'm happy with the All-Star race. That makes me.
There's not a lot of bullshit in this one. It's just strictly racing, which is nice to see.
Yeah, I like that. I also like the format for it, not just every motherfucker gets in. But at the same time, it's well-deserved drivers.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting. I'm excited for it.
So let's get into all the penalties that happen. So
Yeah,
I think we get all the colleague. And
wait. Should we do viewership first for the Cup race?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I don't think it really means that much since it was on FS1, but so for the Cup race at Richmond, FS1 got a 1.3 rating and 2.303 million viewers for NASCAR's race at Richmond. Last year, it was on Fox TV or Fox, 2.3 rating and almost 4 million viewers. I don't really know what to say about that, just because you expect it to go down in about half, because FS1, not everybody has it, like Fox or NBC.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly think that's solid for FS1.
I agree.
It's okay.
And
I'm not too upset about it.
You guys care about the F1 or IndyCar?
They were also down this year, right?
Yep, slightly for F. Oh, well, fuck it. NBC got 830,000 viewers for IndyCar's race at Texas, down from 954,000 viewers last year.
I heard it was a good race too.
It was a phenomenal race. I watched it. It was great.
Was it before or after the truck race?
It was after. It was on Sunday.
Okay.
I've only watched once. It was like the only thing on TV. That's why.
I watched the fall Texas race. One of the Texas races Jimmy ran.
I've been to an IndyCar race at Atlanta years and years and years ago.
Dude, I'm gonna give it to IndyCar. They made Texas look good.
That's hard to do.
And that's hard, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because even the truck race was pretty decent racing wise, but I mean it still was just a cookie cutter type of race. But the IndyCar, it looked awesome. It just they need to go back to more ovals. IndyCar does. I mean, the vehicles are safer, right? Than they used to than they've ever been. So that was why they went away from ovals because of Dan Weldon back in 2011. I think it's time to go back. I think if you want to grow your viewership again, do it. But that's just me.
For F1, ESPN got 556,000 viewers for the Australia race. Granted, it was at 1 in the damn morning, so
Yeah.
for America, not a lot of Americans watched it. I was personally trying to, but I fell asleep like a half hour before the race and just watched the highlights. Dude, I watched the qualifying highlights for that. Qualifying is so freaking entertaining for F1. It's
Dude,
more entertaining than probably the race.
It is.
Dude, that
which
was
is
awesome.
sad to say. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like as someone who likes F1, right? But I do think it's boring, right? Like I can admit that F1 is boring. So when people tell me that NASCAR is boring, I'm like, okay, compare this. Let's compare this, and I want to see what they think. But their qualifying, I think it's better than some NASCAR races.
Oh, dude, no doubt, bro. Why is the commentator from last year not there anymore? Is he still there? Or 2 years ago? I don't remember his name.
He could have been off this week because he's
Off this week? Okay.
Because I've heard him this year.
Okay.
I
I
could be wrong.
did not watch the Bahrain race. I don't know. Maybe he called that one or the last one that they had.
Oh, you didn't watch it? Okay, yeah. He was there for sure.
Okay. It was down from 556,000 viewers to 568,000 last year. It is what it is. 10,000. What could you?
But they also this is a really solid point. In the age gap of 18-year-olds to 49-year-olds, it was 86%.
That's huge.
That is insane. NASCAR is getting about 12% from that age group. So that's a huge age group, by the way. It's just nuts that we're only getting 12% of the viewers that way.
And we're trying so hard to get kids into it, teenagers.
It's the broadcast. I'm telling you.
You can't have 60-year-old Mike Joy in there. And Clint Boyer who wants to give me AIDS, bro. Like,
put other athletes in there, right? Like make our age want to go listen to it. That's just.
But yeah, there's plenty. Put Alvin Kamara. You put Alvin Kamara in the booth. It's probably gonna be boring, but he's in the NFL, so people are gonna tune in just to hear what he has to say. Also, it's gonna be his first time since like beating a person up. So I mean,
hey, why not?
Like, two positives in one, yeah.
All right, let's get into our big crazy stuff this week. For one, Colleague got their appeal this week, which was they had the same issue with Hendrick a couple weeks ago at Phoenix, with the louvers before the race as well. Their appeal panel, which I want to make sure this is clear, it was definitely not the same appeal panel. So the people that say that Hendrick paid them off, it should be the same, it shouldn't. Everything is different. They were fined. Let me pull this up. Sorry. Pretty much, they kept the same. Like,
the only thing that changed was the point penalty was reduced to 75 instead of 100.
Yeah.
Hendrick paid him off.
There's no shot.
That's the only valid explanation.
Dude, they don't even know the panel until they get there. So that's what's crazy.
And they paid him off.
But like NASCAR,
They also might not have argued the same thing that Hendrick did.
yeah. So Hendrick had receipts. So according to Dale
Yep.
Jr., okay, Hendrick had receipts of NASCAR's responses. They had emails of NASCAR's this. They had this of whatever. Colleague, I mean, they were just saying, yeah, I did what they did. You know, they were just trying to make shit up. Well, for one, they don't have the smartest people as HMS. Probably, honestly, it was an actual mistake, other than them because it was only one vehicle, right? Now, if it was both their vehicles, it could be a different situation, right? Like, oh, we got sent the wrong stuff. But guess what? One of your vehicles was okay. So that was another thing in their appeal panel. I'm not saying I agree with it, but what I'm saying,
I do. Oops, sorry, you can go.
But what I am saying, it is a completely different situation. It is the same item, but it's a totally different situation.
Didn't when Hendrick's louvers get confiscated? Didn't they take colleagues' louvers?
Yes.
That's interesting to me. I don't know if there's any connection. That's interesting.
Well, so on Hendrick's side, we have this is the problem with the appeal system. Okay, we know nothing. Okay, we literally only know the verdict. We don't know.
Well, now it's different.
Yeah.
New rules just came out.
Yeah. I was getting to that. But we don't know. Realistically, I think they should be very vocal on what was said, on how they won the case, and so that no one can say, "Hey, these people they paid them off, or they're cheating, or they just like them better."
They do.
No, they had no idea who these people were until they walked. As soon as you walk in the door, that is the first time you meet these people. Well, I mean, you may know. So NASCAR is also sitting next to you, appealing their case as well. So, like,
jerked him off in the alleyway afterwards.
Yeah. And Mr. H probably walked in with 3 suitcases full of fucking hundreds.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. Yeah.
Hey, he almost got convicted of tax evasion once. Don't put it beyond him.
And he said, "NASCAR, here's our championship winnings from 2 years ago. Just take this."
Yeah, we'll win one this year. So.
With Bowman.
But
Bowman is not championship worthy.
And then also,
he could get to the Final Four. I don't think he'd win. He could get there though.
By the way, and then we go to Hamlin's appeal today.
Emergency podcast dropped today too.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to burst everything that he's
It's already out. I need to listen to it.
Anyways, the appeals board upheld all his penalties. They did not give him a dime back.
That's probably what he gets for wrecking JJ.
Yeah, that was a little iffy on that one.
That's crazy.
I just wonder what his defense was, because on his podcast he said he had a very good defense. That's copyright.
Right.
That's copyright.
If Junior watches this show, he's coming on.
He needs to give us a shout out now. We just gave him one.
All right. By the way, KBM.
We're going to appeal Junior.
KBM.
They're fast.
And affiliate teams. They got a penalty as well. So Jack Wood, Chase Purdy, and Nick Sanchez. Nick Sanchez is docked 10 points for violation of the engine, oil, receiver tank. I don't know what they did, but they're docked 10 points.
He had NOS.
They had NOS. That's why he was so fast. That's why he dominated.
Good feel.
But the big stuff. Hendrick took the 48 and the 24. They were not okay with the appeal panel. Okay, this is why I think they're choosing. They found the littlest piece of shit on their vehicle just to make sure that they got 60 points docked. I'm gonna call this out like how I see it.
I'm just saying the standings aren't up.
What?
The standings aren't up right now.
What do you
They're
mean?
trying to calculate stuff right now. Watch. Standings.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
That's bullshit.
Either way, Hendrick
The appeal's happening right now.
The
Line her up. Chastain's leading.
Took the 48 and the 24 after the race and took them back to the R&D center. They found a L1 penalty. And the penalty was it was in the greenhouse, and it was a wiper. It was like,
You know why they did this, right?
yes, hell yeah.
If Bowman wins the championship, the whole sport's over. He's won everywhere. He wins. Kills it. Track killer.
Yeah, it's over. The series and everything. No, but it was legit the wiper blade. It wasn't the wiper blade itself. It is the part that connects it. Apparently they just didn't like it. I don't know what they did.
Payback's a bitch, dude. Payback's a bitch.
I guess they just did not have something right on it. The dimensions were wrong. Oh my god.
Sorry, that got me.
I'm sorry. That sucks.
Yeah, you should probably get your dog to eat them or something.
Uh,
You should have said my nuts dropped.
yeah, you're.
Joke wrote itself.
Anyways, so Hendrick Motorsports for both teams docked 60 points, 5 playoff points, a $75,000 fine, a 2-race suspension for the intern crew chiefs will be affected this week.
Wait, even our interim crew chiefs are suspended?
Yes. So their secondary crew chiefs are now suspended.
NASCAR will start displaying confiscated parts at the racetrack for teams to see.
Yes.
Did you say
Didn't
5?
Mike Davis just say that too?
5 playoff points, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Mike Davis said that on the Dojo Dale.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. So you said that they're okay. Anybody want to get into the whole appeal panel thing?
What you mean?
The new rule book.
Oh, give me that. Hold up, give me a second. I want to do that.
This is
Wait a
nuts.
minute.
NASCAR's
So-
not happy with the Hendrick decision.
They are massively butthurt, and I understand it.
You know we're just gonna appeal this after the Bristol race and win, right?
That would be hilarious. Honestly, I hope we just don't appeal it. I think we should just take the loss so they don't have to do it again.
Let's see. What's the next track? It's Bristol, Martinsville, Dega, Dover. So Bristol, have Larson win. Martinsville, Byron, Dega, Bowman, Dover.
Chase
Josh
is
Pierce
back,
Chase.
wins his first race.
Chase will be back to Dover. He's not racing Dega. No way.
No.
Because that's his projected comeback day.
Yeah, if he races
say you just
Dega
sit on for a
on my wedding day, I'm straight up nutting.
I'd hope you'd be doing that anyway.
That was the joke.
All right. We done jerking each other off. It sounds like.
Oh my gosh, yes, we're waiting on you.
All right. So NASCAR, they made a couple pretty big switches to the. Fuck off!
Dude, you know what's crazy? I just said maybe I'm gonna be nutting. Mitch just did that on the podcast, dude. Like he
He literally nutted all over the floor. All right. Back to NASCAR. So NASCAR made a couple significant tweaks to the rulebook. If appeals panel holds up a penalty, it can just wipe out. I don't get the first one, but I'm gonna read it so somebody explains it to me.
Okay.
If appeal panel upholds penalty, it can just wipe out a whole part, like with Hendrick points. Can reduce it within the range laid out by the rulebook. I don't get that.
So if NASCAR does not agree with the appeal panel, they can take it out.
Oh, so they basically just do whatever the fuck they feel like now.
Yes.
Okay. And the second rule, which I think is going to help us a lot, since we don't have a lot of information really, of like why the appeals didn't go through and all that, is NASCAR can now publish the panel's reasons for changing penalties.
Yep.
Which I think that's the big one for us. So we understand more what's going on, and we can more explain our thoughts on it better.
Yeah.
Which may help more fans.
I will say, Eric Eastuff, NASCAR YouTuber, he talked about this, and he said, "Why doesn't NASCAR do a live stream of the appeal process? Like, why don't they every appeal it should be live streamed, so that no one can say whatever, and then and for one they can make sponsorship dollars off of it, ads off of it. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, plus you're literally giving the fans your politics in front of yourself, right? Like that's not hiding any shady stuff. Even though it is what it is, but I'm just happy. I'm just happy that the public gets to hear what happened, like gets to actually know what happened. So
I think one thing that's going to happen with these new tweaks to the system is now it's going to be a lot more biased. So if they see Hendrick doing really well, like kicking ass like they are this year, and they get a penalty, like they definitely do something wrong, they might make it harsher for them than they would a team like Colleague or a team like Stuart Haas that's not as good right now, just to try to even up the field more. I feel like that's what might start happening since now NASCAR has more control. As the appeal panels, they're not NASCAR related.
yeah, which is crazy. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about the first prop. I don't know. The first thing that you said, I think the reason for the appeal is to have a third party outlook on your rule book. I think the only reason why they said they can erase the appeal is for like what happened to Hendrick, right? So like they kept half of everything but their points. Everything else was kept but their points. Instead of doing a 50-50 cut back. Like they could have done 50 points, $50,000. And I don't think they would have taken that away. But because of it was half and half, and they give them all their points, which I actually agree with that penalty, to be honest, because they didn't race under that vehicle. Like they fixed the louver problem before competition even started. Sorry. So like, to me, points shouldn't have been deducted in the first place on either team, not just Hendrick, but I'm talking about Colleague. I think it should have just been a fine and a fine only. But when it comes to driver points, I don't understand why that was taken away when they didn't race in under competition. But that's just me. So I agree with the appeal panel. Only wish NASCAR, I would say, understood the situation. I think giving both teams 100 points deduction is stupid. But even though Hinder got it back, that's beside the point. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I don't really have much more to write on. I honestly think there should have been a points penalty because it's more of a team thing,
Right.
than just the crew chiefs. So I think a fine was honestly unfair. I feel like most fines are unfair unless, like, the crew chiefs aren't. I don't think the crew chiefs would tell them, "Hey, let's make it illegal." They're like, "Yeah, okay, I guess yes, the fine is like should be something for the crew chiefs, but maybe not as harsh because it's not like they're telling them to make it illegal. They're probably telling them to push as far as they can, but not to make it illegal."
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like NASCAR or Hendrick didn't. Hendrick only put those louvers on because they just didn't have the right ones. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, on their case, that was their case, right? Like obviously we don't know what was said, but that communication was represented to NASCAR saying, "Hey, we're not receiving the right parts," and I think that's why they win, right there, because they communicated well. That's just how they get their points back. Colleague did not communicate that they were receiving the wrong parts, right? From what we know of, from all we don't know a lot, but what we do know is that Hendrick did give NASCAR an opportunity to try to fix it before they went to the racetrack. I think that's why they get their points back.
I agree, and I think that's a fair assumption. That they did try to make the communications, and it's at that point it becomes on NASCAR for not coming through.
And that's my only I think NASCAR is upset with that because that's why they took the 24 and the 48, right? And they found the littlest thing, right? It still was wrong, but any other racetrack, we don't have windshield wipers on. We only have it now because of the new rules package about the if we can race in the rain. But guess what? The windshield wipers were taken off before the race weekend, anyways, or before the race started. So it wasn't like that was going to make a difference in their speed, right?
Right.
So if it was taken off and they didn't even practice, what was the point of giving them a penalty? That makes absolutely no sense.
Thank you. That's the.
That is. I did not know that. That is absolutely stupid.
Yes.
All
the windshield wipers were off the cars, so it wasn't like there was nothing that they did to advance their downforce, their whatever. It was just literally they were trying to find something because they're upset because they got their points taken back.
That is stupid.
And here comes the appeal after the dirt race, and we win.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they win, but because of the new rule that NASCAR can strip away the points situation, and only talks about the points, right? Like when they say they can strip away. Going back to your first thing that you said.
Mm-hmm.
Damon?
Huh? What? I don't know you're talking to me. What's up?
Going back to your
Go back
first
to
thing.
the first thing you said.
About like
that you
what
didn't
NASCAR
understand.
changed in the rule book about the appeal. It was talking about points, right? Like they could strip back the points from the appeal process.
What was that? Does that mean like that the penalty, like they can like reverse, like if they choose to get the points back, they can reverse it and keep the penalty points?
Yes, right. Is that what was said?
Well, how I read it to you. I'm guessing you're correct.
Well, if that's the case, and that's the reason, is because they just didn't agree with what the appeal process said. But even though, if you look at it in fine detail, I think that's the right call for both teams. I don't think Kaulig should have a points penalty right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if they did not communicate to NASCAR, I guess they should have a points penalty because they didn't try any way to fix the problem that they were having. But if they just had no idea that was the wrong part, then I mean, what are they going to do?
Right.
I mean, that's just. But that's why I think it was an actual mistake for Kaulig because one of their cars was okay, the other one wasn't, and ironically, the one that wasn't was the lowest one in points. So it was kind of just a bad ordeal in the situation. I'm like, but I wish we could not have a bunch of penalties, and this kind of screwed up the whole season if you think about it. Because from the rest of the season, we're going to continue to talk about these penalties just because of the other one, right? And which still, I think what Denny just went through, I don't think he should have a penalty right now. But that's just beside the point. He was giving his freedom of speech on his own podcast that NASCAR does not sponsor. Okay,
right?
Saying, "Hey, I just wrecked the guy." But Dale Earnhardt can go out of the car at Bristol with no penalty and said, "Yeah, I didn't mean to wreck it, but I rattled his cage." Like,
Meant to rattle his cage.
Like, come on now. Like, that's a little. I mean, it's the same thing. Like,
that was the most popular driver though at the time.
Yeah, which is it's stupid. It shouldn't be that way. But that's just my thoughts.
Dale Earnhardt was never the most popular driver.
The most successful driver at the time.
successful. By the
I'll
way,
give you that.
by the way, this is off topic. I cannot wait to see the Super Mario movie this Saturday.
Here we
Cool.
go. I'm back.
Huh?
Cool.
Yeah, I'm like excited, like low key. But I guess we'll transition into picks, or do we? Let me look at my itinerary that I've made. I don't know if we're missing.
I also have one thing before we go to picks. I'd like
say
to
it.
point out. All right, it's not really news or anything, but it's an interesting thing. You might already know it, Dylan. So don't spoil the beans here. I'm going to be asking Mitch and Statboy this, but so I saw a thing today on Twitter where it's the top 15 who has the most top 15 finishes with the next gen car. Have you seen it, Dylan?
Honestly, no.
Who has the most top 15 finishes?
With the next gen car.
Ross.
Okay. It's going to surprise you. Dylan, who do you think? It's going to be interesting.
I have a weird feeling it's like Michael McDowell or something.
Can we get a manufacturer?
No.
All right. Well, if you went Chastain, you went McDowell. I'll go with the Toyota. I'll go Christopher Bell.
Okay. It's Kevin Harvick with 30. That's
tiny. That's not even a lot.
I'm surprised he's first. Chastain is second with 29. Larson is also tied with second with 29. Christopher Bell and Kyle Busch both have 27. Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Mark Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney all have 26, and Denny Hamlin has 24.
So minus the surprise there, I was right.
Chastain, yeah. I thought that was cool. I saw that today, and
that's interesting. That is interesting, though.
The most consistent drivers. So I thought that was very interesting. I'm very surprised Harvick's number one. I thought it was going to be Chastain with like 50.
I almost said Chase, and then I was like, well, he missed a couple races this year.
One guy that is not on here is last year's champion, Joey Logano.
Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah. That is not a great look. See, he's not the most consistent driver, but I guess he said,
when it counts.
Yep. He does not have performance anxiety. He can get it up.
Kylie just said, hell yeah, Mario. And Cody, we have not done our picks yet. If you're wondering.
Are we good to get on to them, or we got something else?
The only thing I had on the itinerary was let's try to create our own like idea all-star format, but
yeah.
Well, I want to let you do Saturday night.
Maybe we could do that like a week before the All-Stars.
Yeah, well, we can do that the week of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
because I have no idea.
I would like to think about it. I would like to see what I would want to do. Honestly, what they did this year, this is perfect. But honestly,
I like Tony's idea of after halfway, half the field has to go backwards.
Oh my god!
If they don't wreck enough cars.
That's only for Dega.
Staying backwards.
We go to Dega. We go to Dega for the All-Star. We do that.
Yep.
Tony would be proud. That might get him back into NASCAR.
Yeah, I think he'll drive
36 cars forward. It's almost one has THC in their system.
Honestly, I like All-Stars that are very gimmicky. Actually, this is the only time that you won a gimmicky All-Star race. But I think it goes back to Charlotte with a cool like a revert of the field of every stage. Like
SRX style.
Yeah. I would like to see like that, but I would not like to see it in Wilkesboro.
Are we losing any East Coast tracks this season?
I don't think so.
Auto Club.
As I say, because then you get North Wilkesboro on the normal schedule.
Or losing Auto Club, technically.
That's on.
Yeah, but that's West Coast.
Oh, did you say East?
Yeah, they need a replacement.
I missed that.
No, you're good. I was just like, when you said Auto Club, I was like, that's different.
Man, fuck Rodemer. Wait, he's not even on there anymore.
Dude, we got to give a shout out to Dylan A, dude. He got the pole in the Xfinity race.
Did he win?
I don't think so.
No, Smiley won.
Who?
Smiley.
Oh my god, the dude with all the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I thought about racing, honestly.
I love Vegas. I'm so glad that's tomorrow.
Dole second. Wow. Dylan A finished 8th. Lead lap at least. How about that finish yesterday between us though, Dylan?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That was pretty
for
dope.
no reason.
That was dang shit. Alright, I think we're ready for picks now, correct?
I think we are. I'm so ready to pick Chase Elliott to win this weekend.
Alright, I'll do the truck series, I guess. They are at Bristol Motor Speedway, obviously, for the Bristol Dirt Race. It's the Weather Guard truck race on dirt. It's 150 laps, 75 miles. April 8th, 8 p.m. Saturday on FS1. Dylan, who do you have as your suck pick?
My suck pick is going to be someone who actually runs dirt. I think Stuart Friesen sucks. I think the Bristol Dirt is not a good track for the dirt guys because it just doesn't race like it, and so that's why you see a lot of different winners. So I think Stuart sucks this weekend.
I try to take that into account, but Mitch, who do you have as your suck pick?
Matty D. I just don't think he runs very well this week.
Wasn't it last year he got stuck to somebody?
Was that last year?
Yeah, yeah. I had to be his first year in truck last year, right? For the 25. Yeah. Stat Boy, suck pick.
Chase Briscoe.
Okay. My suck pick is Tyler Ankrum.
So before we get into our picks and our win picks, I do want to say that there's going to be a lot of rain this weekend. Okay. And so we could have on Friday we could have a rain out where there's no heat races and no nothing. So all these drivers that are trying to race their way in may not make it in. So I just want to make that clear. So like the 66 of Joey Logano, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and I saw NASCAR is also going
to. Logano's my suck pick. Screw that.
I also saw NASCAR is going to try their best to make as little as they can on Sunday. So because I did hear there's rain, they're going to try to make it so like if possible they can have stuff. Try their hardest not to have stuff on Sunday because it's Easter. They want people to enjoy their morning and afternoon and then enjoy the Cup race. But all right, good run. Who you got, Dylan?
I think good run. I'm gonna go Haley Deegan here. I think she needs a good run to back up her 6th place finish in Texas, and I think the momentum will get her into a top 10. Hopefully, she could sneak a top 5.
Mitch, you guys are a good one.
I went with Jonathan Davenport. The late model guy coming up to make his NASCAR debut. I think he's going to run decent in the trucks.
Interesting. Stat Boy?
I'm going to go with Christian Eckes.
Okay. I have Haley Deegan also as my good run.
That's good.
You guys are win, Dylan.
My win pick, I'm going to go with the guy who won it last year, Ben Rhodes. I think it comes off with another one.
Who you got, Mitchell?
I got Chase Briscoe winning the truck race.
Okay. Stat Boy?
William Byron.
I have Stuart Friesen.
Oh God.
I really try to take account that most dirt guys we've seen it for Cup like Larson and Bell. It's like their best tracks. I try to take that into account, but I feel like Stuart Friesen. I was gonna have him as my good run, but then I was like, I think Deegan will do pretty good. So I was like, fuck it. I think Friesen will win.
I can see it.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's gonna be mad interesting though with the rain and situation. Who's actually gonna make it in the race? So, but yeah, we'll move on to Cup here. It'll be on Easter Sunday, April 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Big Fox in PRN. It is 250 laps for 125 miles. That's a lot of laps, actually. So, who is going to suck, Mitch?
I'm going to go with Kevin Harvick this week. we haven't seen him do good at this track ever since it's been on the dirt so far. I don't think things are going to change this week, so I think he's going to probably run, mid-20s all race.
That's good. David?
I have Josh Berry sucking.
And Dylan?
I'm gonna go with Ryan Blaney.
And myself?
I feel bad for Blaney, man.
Me too. Myself, I'm going to go with Blaney's teammate, Austin Cindric.
I could see that.
And who needs a good run, Mitch?
Chase Briscoe. I think he's going to follow up off that truck win and keep that momentum rolling and finally start to maybe click off a good top 5 for the Cup Series side of things this week.
He could have won last year if he didn't spin.
Right. So I think he's going to run strong. Probably have good top 10, top 5 run.
He can learn to wreck people without wrecking himself,
Well, eventually.
He'll get there. I have Ryan Preece as my good run.
And you're in DCD?
I'm gonna have Alex Bowman because I think that top 10/top 15 streak could come to an end if he doesn't.
Myself, I'm debating here. It's either between Chris Buescher and AJ Allmendinger. For some reason, I'm feeling AJ. I think AJ is gonna have a good run this week. There's no reason why. I really just don't have a reason. I just have a weird feeling. And who's gonna win, Mitch? Who you got?
Larson.
And David?
I believe Tyler Reddick's going to avenge the win he should have had last year here.
Ooh. DCD?
I think he's frozen.
I think this is the year the Dirt Guy finally gets it.
Who?
What?
Who? All I heard was something, and he finally gets it.
I thought I heard Dirt God. And I think we've lost him.
We have officially... Larson, he said.
Larson, okay.
He's back. I'm going to go with the guy who has led 60 laps in both races that we've had here. Well, he led 61 the first year, and he led about 57 the second year. Daniel Suarez, I think, gets it done. He's been up front on both of the dirt races, and I think it'd just be cool to see.
Yeah, it's not really his style.
Yeah, but he's been good. Now, the best average finish on the dirt Bristol has been Joey Logano. He finished first and third in the 2 races. So I think
Imagine.
Yeah. Now he's going to finish 35th. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I think I'm interested to see how Kyle Busch does.
Trash.
Because, he was running third. Obviously, he got the win last year. But the car that he's in was the guy who was in the lead. So, I don't know. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, could be interesting. I don't think it's going to account for too much. I just think, I don't know. Kyle sucks on dirt-ish. He don't suck. He's talented everywhere.
Ricky Stenhouse could be a big factor at the end of this.
He finished second in the first one, right?
No,
Yes.
Reddick could.
Yes. Reddick finished second in the second one. 2022 he finished second, then 2021, I think. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Where did Ricky Stenhouse finish in last year's?
12th.
You looked it up?
No.
He's just guessing. Probably. I'm guessing 13th.
What is this? Some over-under bullshit?
29th.
You were closer.
Yeah, damn right, bitch.
Yeah.
Tell him to bring me my money.
6th last year? Really? The
Do
hell?
what?
Bowman finished 6th last year.
Yeah. I mean, Bowman came from dirt,
The
dog.
I know, but still.
Barely.
He's been running a lot more. And he has Larson as a teammate. So.
Kyle Busch was running a lot of dirt, too.
Yeah. He has done a lot of dirt.
Well, I don't really know. I know Ty Dillon will probably finish 32nd again, but
Yeah, he's good at finishing last lately.
Justin Allgaier will finish 36 again.
yeah, Allgaier's been really struggling. It hasn't even been his fault either. But
Josh Williams finished 25th last year.
Allmendinger for 3.
Who won races last year for them? Noah.
well, anything y'all want to say before we end off this podcast?
No, pretty fun episode.
Yeah. Looking forward to see how Bristol turns out.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Sure.
I don't know how much I'm going to watch the race, actually.
What time is the truck?
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock on Saturday.
I'd love to stay, but my computer's about to die. So.
All right, well.
Yeah, I should be able to see both fully, so it should be a fun weekend for me.
All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in. He left, obviously, because his computer was about to die. But it's fun. It was fun, chat and whatnot. And
Yep.
I think we'll be back here next week. I think I got 2 more, and then we will have to skip a week just because I'll be on my honeymoon. So I hope we'll do 2 picks that week. We'll do,
Yep.
Of course, we'll do the Dega race, and then Dover. So we will not talk about Dega. 2 weeks after, we'll just talk about Dover, and then probably a bunch of news within 2 weeks. We could get some appeals happening. We could have
A new surprise penalty by Hendrick, probably.
yeah. Danny Hamlin wrecks Chastain again, another penalty.
We'll finally see how much Hendrick paid the appeal panel.
Followed by at least 14 speeding penalties for Hamlin.
One more wrecked Ross Chastain. I can't speak. Let's end this shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a stroke.
Well, just remember, if anything happens on this podcast,
Invite your grandma.
Please.
Grandma, and it's Ross Chastain's fault.
Yeah.
Always Ross Chastain.
If you fall down the stairs, it's Ross Chastain's fault.
Call
You're-
911, Ross Chastain, Watermelon Man.
Your grandma doesn't show up, it's Ross Chastain's fault.
Don't forget, Chastain was in the JFK assassination. All right, peace out.